The Milwaukee Bucks took down the Boston Celtics 119-112 behind Giannis Antetokounmpo's 36 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, going 14 of 20 from the field. Just an overall awesome performance from Giannis. Also a great performance from Brook Lopez in their ball screen defense, and just overall the Bucks defense as a whole, limiting Jason Tatum to 5 points, going 2 of 18 and 0 for 4 from 3-point range, just really wreaking havoc on that end of the floor. In this breakdown, we're going to focus on the final 6 minutes of the game, look at how Milwaukee attacked Boston and how Boston countered that, some of their defensive adjustments, and how Milwaukee pulled away at the end. My name is Coach Pyper. You can follow me on Twitter at HalfCourtHoops. I run a basketball website, thebasketballplaybook.com, for coaches and fans alike. If you enjoy this breakdown, please feel free to like and subscribe. We're going to pick up with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. The Bucks just went small with Giannis at the 5. The Celtics run a spread ball screen for Jaylen Brown. They set this up with a gut pin down, or a pin down in the middle of the floor, as we can see here. And then Tice is going to chase into a spread ball screen. With the Bucks being small, they're going to switch most of these ball screens. Giannis gets a contest, and it's an air ball from Brown. The Bucks come back the other way and run their 5 out. Giannis attacks, ends up getting his own rebound for an easy dunk. Boston's going to come back down and run this same spread ball screen. This time we're going to get a switch. Gordon Hayward hits a nice in and out crossover with Giannis being switched on him. As he attacks here, you can see he gets movement side to side, creates a little bit of space for that pull up. The Bucks come back down and run their little wide pin down, or their wide action, and then set a little ghost screen for Giannis. Giannis ends up getting the offensive foul. The wide action is a staple of the Bucks offense, where the ball gets reversed, and then there's like a middle pin down, similar to that gut pin down we just saw. The Bucks call it wide. After this, you can see Giannis attacks and ends up getting the hip into the defender Ojale here. As we can see, the hip goes with him in position, being able to take the charge. The Boston Celtics try to get Giannis in that switch again. This time we get a foul on Wesley Matthews on the roll man Tice. The sideline out of bounds action here for the Celtics is going to be another ball screen for Gordon Hayward, as we can sense a theme going on. He gets Sterling Brown switched onto him. Actually makes a really nice hesitation move here to create a little bit of downhill driving distance. Slices through the defense and ends up missing an easy layup. The Bucks come back down in transition. They run 5 out. The Celtics are in a little bit of a scramble, and that leaves Wesley Matthews wide open for a catch and shoot 3. So as we can see here, Jaylen Brown gets caught on the helping in the drive. That's an easy drive and kick read for Milwaukee for an open 3. That puts him up 4. The Celtics come back down with a double ball screen for Brad Wanamaker. Giannis is going to be in drop coverage here. Watch how he goes hands straight up and then uses his length to block the shot. The Bucks come back down. Chris Middleton's going to get a wide open look from 3 here. Ends up just missing, but you can see their small ball creating these easier scoring opportunities. Boston comes back down in transition. Hayward misses this little pull-up. Tice does a good job on the weak side glass, and then Hayward sneaks in for this offensive rebound behind Wesley Matthews. And that's one of the issues with playing smaller, is you give up some offensive rebounding. Now the Bucks come back down, and they're going to run the first Giannis and Middleton ball screen. We're going to see on this roll here, Tice is going to end up helping off the corner and gives up a corner 3. Ends up just missing it. So as Giannis rolls here in between the 2 defenders, you can see Tice is cheating off the corner to help the roll, and that leaves an open corner 3. Celtics come back down, and they're going to run a little bit of their motion, that what they call kind of their 5 series, or their 5 out. Wes Matthews gets switched on Jaylen Brown, who shoots a really difficult pull-up. Now Lopez comes back in the game. 4:02 up to the Bucks, based on a bounds for the Celtics. Celtics go their Ricky action, or just a rescreen inside, and based on a bounds, this is going to flow into a spread ball screen. The Bucks are in their drop coverage. Tatum snakes it and ends up shooting a tough kind of fading pull away, or a pull-up fadeaway. So as you can see him snake this screen inside here, he ends up creating a little bit of space, but not really the best shot, but also not the worst shot, one that Tatum would typically make, and he struggled today against that Bucks drop coverage. The Celtics are going to have to defend an after timeout here from the Bucks. The Bucks run their normal elbow pistol set after timeout. This is a special that they've run all year, so it's just an elbow handoff between Giannis and DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo ends up missing a reverse layup. There's a better angle of this play, what it's actually supposed to look like after a timeout. You can see him get the easy layup here. Boston comes back down in transition, ends up throwing a really bad pass to Tatum, who tries to throw it off of George Hill, and then George Hill comes back down and takes an ill-advised transition three. So a couple of weird decisions here from the Celtics and the Bucks. The Celtics come back down after the foul and run a little elbow handoff for Jaylen Brown. He's going to end up snaking it and shooting a nice pull-up. So you can see here, this is a ram screen where you just screen for a player to get open or go set a ball screen. We get like a little elbow touch and it goes right into an elbow handoff. We can see the Bucks are in drop coverage. Jaylen Brown gets inside the screen, ends up shooting a pull-up. Good contest there by Giannis late. The Bucks again go to their wide action. This time they're going to set a ball screen. The Celtics are pretty much switching all this action here, especially later in the game. This is just too easy of a drive for Giannis as he blows by Smart with no help defense. You can see him set this up with a little load step and then just blows by. Maybe a little bit of off-arm contact there, but the refs aren't going to call that. The Celtics come back and run that same exact elbow handoff action for Jaylen Brown, and this was the weirdness with the foul or no foul. You can see Giannis hits Tice here, and then the refs go and review it. They actually asked them later in the reporter pool or whatever, and they can review this. They can review if it's like a flagrant foul or excessive or a groin shot or a hostile act as they defined it. They did not define it as that, and they also did not call a foul on Giannis, which was huge. Because in this scenario, Giannis had 5 fouls, so if they did call a foul in this scenario, Giannis would have fouled out. So they end up calling it just a no call, just a play on, and they end up getting Boston a free timeout here, so they run this after a timeout. Their Chicago Spain action, which is basically a pin down and a dribble handoff into Spain action. Don't worry, I'll break that down exactly what that means with a nice driving dish by Tatum here. The Chicago action is just a pin down into a dribble handoff. The Spain action is the back screen for the ball screener. So you see Tatum sets that back screen and pops, attacks the closeout, hits Tice on the drive and dish opportunity. So the Bucks come back down, tie game now at 107. They kind of run their normal 5-out offense. What I love about this possession is although they give up the offensive rebound, the Celtics defensive principles on drives are to show your hands and basically go vertical on everything. So no contact can be called. You see Smart does it here, and then Tice does it on this drive here as well. So showing the hands vertical, not allowing the refs to bail them out with a foul call. The Celtics run just a basic spread pick and roll for Tatum, trying to get him going. They go re-screen more often than not, especially if teams go under and drop coverage. So that re-screen is just basically the first initial ball screen and then another ball screen right after it, trying to free up the ball handler. Milwaukee does a good job clogging the lane. Tatum probably could have had the pull up there, but instead goes for a floater between 3 Bucks players. The Bucks come back down and run some of their basic 5-out action. Ends up with a Giannis ISO here. And we're going to go back and look at this play specifically because I really like some of the off-ball movement, and then look at the charge or no charge kind of call here. So you can see right now Lopez is Tice on him. They're going to have an exchange on this strong side, so that kind of creates who the players are helping off of. So this will leave Middleton open. Tatum reaches in here and gambles for no reason. Giannis does a good job avoiding Tice and then gets initially called for a charge on Smart. You gotta love how he throws it out here and then avoids it. But as Smart was a little bit in the charge circle, they end up calling a block on him because he was moving as Giannis was gathering. So that was a good correction by the officials there. Boston, after this mini timeout, is going to go to that same exact Chicago-Spain action we just looked at. Milwaukee does a good job of jamming up the initial cut here by Gordon Hayward, so he goes back door. Jaylen Brown opens up and shoots this 3, and you can see Brad Stevens' reaction here. He is really not pleased at all with that shot. I'm assuming he wanted him to turn the corner and get downhill because they're setting up that Spain action. Now the Bucks run the Giannis and Chris Middleton ball screen. We can see on the replay here how the Celtics aren't really switching. Marcus Smart is a little bit late, and all it does is give Middleton a little ounce of space as Jaylen Brown stares at this screen for a 3-point shot off the dribble, putting the Bucks up 6. Celtics come back down. run a little side ball screen and swing it to Jaylen Brown, who ends up turning the corner this time, throws up a pump fake and gets the and one. So a good drive and adjustment here as he gets 2 feet and then pump fakes, draws contact, and finishes through that contact to make it a 3-point game. The Bucks go back to the ball screen between Middleton and Giannis. That results into a Giannis roll and one. The Celtics are still unsure if they're switching here or not, or if they're trapping or what they're doing. We can see initially it was probably going to be a switch. Then Tatum stays with Middleton. Middleton spins, hits Giannis on the roll for the and one. As you can see here, getting above on the contact and then finishing with a good right hook. Boston comes back down, end of game, sideline out of bounds situation. Most of the time in this scenario, they're going to look to get Jason Tatum the ball. They do that by using a ghost screen, something that we looked at in yesterday's Clippers-Lakers breakdown. Tatum misses the tough step-back 3. So here's this ghost action where Tatum's going to fake this ball screen. The issue here is Hayward doesn't look to try and get downhill or create an advantage off of it. The play call was probably for Tatum the whole way. The Celtics missed a 3. The Bucks end up getting the ball here, passing the ball ahead to DiVincenzo, who scores the easy layup to finish the game. Thank you so much for watching this breakdown. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. I look forward to doing more.